In the kitchen again.
Yep, she's got me in the kitchen again, and we're gonna try a little bit of a new experiment for us, something that's been out there before. So I'm gonna let her keep talking and I'm gonna start cooking.
All right, so we're gonna make pesto, but we're making it with tomatoes. It's a sun-dried pesto, but our tomatoes, we dehydrate them from the garden. So you can use sun-dried or the sun-dried, or yeah, you can use sun-dried or dried ones. And those I got out earlier this morning and I just set them in some extra virgin olive oil. They've been sitting there all day with a little bit of onion flakes, the dehydrated onion flakes. And we've got some almonds that he's chopped up, some fresh basil that we just got out from the yard. You need about a handful of it. 3 cloves of garlic, some Parmesan cheese, some salt, some pepper, and of course, since it's us, we're going to add some kick to it.
It's gotta have some kick.
These are chili peppers that we grew and crushed up.
The common name for them in Spanish is chile de árbol, and you can actually find it in your grocery store in the dry pepper aisle. Chile de árbol. That's exactly how it sounds. It's exactly how it's rolled on the bag.
Okay, so, and here's our tri-tip. So we'll get that done in a minute, but we're gonna get the pesto going.
Okay.
All right, so into our blender, we have a Vitamix blender.
The whole thing?
Yeah, dump that whole thing in there because that's what I figured this morning. Because this we can, if we don't use it all, which we won't, crusty bread, toasted crusty bread.
Don't say crusty bread, that sounds nasty.
Basically, you just got to throw everything in the blender. The nuts. About 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese.
It's better if you open. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Your garlic. About a teaspoon. Yeah, about a teaspoon. Oh, whatever you shake in there. Don't make it deadly.
Just to have some kick to it.
Salt, pepper, just like about a teaspoon. And some fresh ground black pepper. All right. So that's what it all looks like, and we're gonna blend that up. All right, so after we blended it up, it looks like this. And we're just gonna sit that aside. He's gonna get the tri-tip already, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna basically butterfly it. So we can get the baste on the inside, and we're gonna stuff it with mozzarella.
All right, so next step is I've already filleted it. All I did was literally split it in half. And I always like to tenderize my meat so it's nice and soft when you're eating it.
About what, about a pound of meat?
It's about a little bit over a pound of tri-tip.
Okay.
All right.
So here's your
Got my.
brush. You're just gonna take our sauce that we just basically made.
And I'm just gonna lather it in it. I'm gonna put a lot. You gotta remember when the juices out of the meat start flowing out, they usually do push the flavor out. So all this will probably be gone by the time it comes out. So it looks like a lot, but at the end it'll be just right. You just want to give it a good nice coat. This is the inside of it.
And you'll be putting it on the out, right?
Yeah, we'll be adding some more on the outside. The reason why I'm doing this on the inside, because we're gonna add some cheese to it. And just about enough to fill the inside, and then we're gonna close it up. Now, obviously, it doesn't fit right back in it, so I got some toothpicks that I'm just gonna step through the meat. And you want to make sure that these are wooden toothpicks. You don't want none of them plastic ones.
Metal's fine, because
Yeah.
but we've got wood ones.
Yeah. And all you want to do is you want to make sure
Just basically seal it up.
you get all the cheese trapped in the middle, so it don't go nowhere. And don't worry, these toothpicks will not get stuck to the meat.
It'll pull right out when it's cooked.
Yep. And it doesn't change the flavor at all. All it does just keeps everything that needs to be inside. That's all it is.
Okay.
Now I'll baste the outside of it. Again, you want to go thick because all the juice from the fat of the meat is going to push the flavor out through it. So you probably won't see it on the outside of the meat when you pull it out, but the flavor will definitely stick to it. Flip it over, do the same. And once you get it into the air fryer tray, you want to baste it one last time to make sure you got an even coverage all the way around.
What's your favorite, the air fryer?
That is my favorite toy in the kitchen, so by far. And the one we use is a New Wave. Alright, that's pretty much covered all the way around. Open it up, and you set the bad boy in. Make sure it's nice and even. You want enough air to be able to flow all the way around it. And I'll give it one last baste.
This is going to give it kind of a nice crust.
Yeah. We're basically going to caramelize the meat in the pesto. And there you have it. Alright, so as usual, I have the issue that I always forget to preheat this thing. I don't like to. But you want to set it to 385. And it's going to go in there for about 25 minutes. But about halfway through it, you want to go ahead and flip it over so that it gives you a nice even cook all the way around. So set for 25 minutes, and there it goes.
Oh, we'll check it in 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now we're about the halfway mark. So I always like to turn it around. So as you can see, you can tell where it's cooked on the outside. So we're just gonna get it and we're gonna give it a quick flip and put it back in for the remainder of the time. It's the outside. So it's coming out. That's what it's gonna look like. We're gonna let it sit and rest. Outside looks like it's burnt, but it's just the pesto.
Yeah, it's a crust. So we're gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes and then we'll cut it up.
Well, here you have it, people. Enjoy.
And these are just regular sourdough baguettes.
Regular sourdough baguette you can get at any store.
We use the pesto just for a little bit of flavor on it. It's very, very good. It smells delicious. It took 25 minutes total in our air fryer.